All right, so let's dive into building effective learning habits for busy professionals in 2025, a topic that really nails the daily struggle, the endless cycle of distraction.
Absolutely. It's like every morning feels like a race against the clock, right? 1 minute you're checking WhatsApp, then scrolling through Instagram while grabbing coffee.
Exactly. And the piece paints this vivid picture. It's 7 a.m. and you're pulled into a social media vortex. Then by the end of the day, you're falling asleep in front of Netflix.
Yep.
Clearly, it's not that people don't have time to learn. It's about focus and prioritization.
Right, it's like the distractions act as quick dopamine fixes while real learning takes a back seat. So how does the strategy suggest we get around that?
Well, it all starts with setting clear, tangible goals. For instance, a busy pro might say, I want to learn prompt engineering to boost my work skills, dedicating 1 hour a week for 3 months.
Yeah,
That specificity transforms random learning into an achievable target.
I like that approach. It anchors you and gives you a concrete milestone. But doesn't that risk being too rigid for some people with unpredictable schedules?
That's a fair concern, but the content also emphasizes starting small. If goals are too lofty, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and lose motivation. So, small goals build momentum, and over
Right.
time, these small wins add up.
Makes sense. And then there's the part about scheduling learning time. I mean, how does one do that when work and life seem to collide all the time?
Good question. The article suggests carving out learning sessions either in the morning or in the evening. If neither works, you can split it into bite-sized chunks, like those 20 minutes on your commute or a quick 15-minute break at lunch. What I love is how it reminds us that online learning platforms enable this flexibility.
That's pretty nifty. And it almost turns into an exercise in time optimization, right? Combining learning with something you already do, like walking while listening to a podcast.
Exactly. It's like multitasking on steroids, pairing exercise with learning. You go for a walk and simultaneously absorb new concepts through short, engaging videos. That way, you're essentially reusing your time.
Speaking of videos, I noticed the advice is to stick to very short clips, 2 to 4 minutes. That seems a bit too short for some complex subjects, don't you think?
I see where you're coming from, but the argument here is that for busy professionals, long monologues aren't engaging. Quick videos mean you can digest a neat concept without feeling bogged down. It's all about keeping the content snappy and directly actionable.
So essentially, it's like breaking down learning into rapidly consumable chunks, almost like how you'd binge a good series.
Right. But with the twist that each episode delivers a micro lesson. It's designed to be instantly rewarding. And then after watching a few, you get an exercise to apply what you've learned immediately. They say you'll never learn to surf by just watching videos. You have to get on the board and ride the wave.
I like that analogy. It really drives home the idea of applied learning. Now, what about tracking progress? I remember the content suggesting some sort of self-monitoring.
Yes, tracking progress is critical. The approach is to carry out weekly check-ins, say on Monday and Friday, to review whether you've hit your learning targets.
Absolutely.
If you fall short, you adjust for the next week, maybe even dive deeper on a quieter Sunday morning.
That sounds like a smart method to maintain accountability, almost like having your personal coach nudging you along.
Exactly, and speaking of accountability, there's a novel suggestion, mentoring and accountability with artificial intelligence.
Oh, really? Wow. AI as an accountability partner. That's a game changer. How does that integrate with the learning experience?
At Investling, they've integrated an AI mentor specifically designed for their course content. The AI interacts with you during exercises, homework, or even when you have spontaneous queries about, say, personal investments. You even get to bypass some content by having a deep conversation with it.
I gotta say I'm both impressed and a bit skeptical. I mean, while AI mentoring sounds cool, doesn't it risk missing that human touch of empathy and nuance?
That's a valid challenge. However, the AI they use leverages large language models, which are quite nuanced and adjustable to your language and local regulations, like country-specific tax issues. It's more of a tool to boost personalized learning rather than replace all human interaction.
Good point. It's interesting to see how technology is repurposing learning to fit even the busiest schedules. I guess it also tackles the problem of high dropout rates in online courses, right?
Exactly. More than 90% of courses aren't completed because of lack of accountability and uninspiring content. Combining short, engaging videos, practical exercises, and an AI mentor creates a more holistic learning environment. It practically forces you to stay engaged.
And this integrated approach is tailored for those who are already juggling so much. I mean, who has time for long lectures when your phone is buzzing nonstop?
True, it's all about making learning accessible and relevant. The piece really highlights that busy professionals are inherently curious, and with the right strategies, you can transform those micro moments into sustained learning progress.
Yeah,
It's not just about watching videos, it's about creating habits.
I like that idea. And what really stuck with me is that it all starts with a mindset shift, from blaming a lack of time to recognizing that it's about effective use of available time.
Exactly, and that mindset shift is crucial. It's about prioritizing learning, even if it's just for 15 minutes here and there, and appreciating that every small effort counts. Building effective habits is a cumulative process.
I also appreciated how practical the advice is. It's a refreshingly down-to-earth approach rather than lofty motivational fluff. But, what do you think about the suggested idea of combining learning with exercise? I mean, can you really focus when you're on the move?
Great question. It might sound counterintuitive at first, but the idea is that walking or light exercise can enhance focus and lower stress.
Yeah.
Plus, listening to course content during exercise frees up time that might otherwise be wasted. It's like turning every spare moment into a learning opportunity.
Yeah, when you put it that way, it almost sounds like multitasking at its finest, engaging both body and mind simultaneously.
Exactly. And there's a kind of rhythmic efficiency to it, almost like synchronizing your pace with your learning pace. It turns downtime into productive time. And that's particularly powerful for people with packed schedules.
I must say, after hearing all of this, I feel more motivated to reevaluate my own daily routine. Perhaps I should start with setting clear goals in the morning and tracking my progress over the week.
Absolutely. Even little changes can yield big improvements over time. The key takeaway is that yes, we all have enough time to learn if we can harness our focus and carve out those moments intentionally.
Yep.
It's a matter of creating an environment that supports learning, not fighting against your busy schedule.
Totally. And with techniques like short, engaging content and the help of AI-driven mentors, learning becomes less of a chore and more of a natural part of your day.
Right? And it's exciting to think that by 2025, these strategies will only get better as technology and methodology evolve. The future of learning is all about adapting to our lifestyles.
Exactly. It's about smart learning, where every minute is optimized for growth, be it professional or personal. And as someone who's constantly juggling multiple roles, that's an empowering message.
For sure. So, if you're feeling overwhelmed by your schedule, remember that it's not about finding extra time. It's about making the time you already have work for you. Set small, clear goals, schedule micro-learning sessions, and track your progress meticulously. That's the recipe for building effective learning habits.
I love it. It's a practical blueprint for anyone who's ever thought, I have no time to learn. This conversation really turns that mindset around.
Absolutely. It transforms the narrative from, I don't have time, into, I can optimize my time and grow. And hey, if you ever need an accountability partner, there's even AI support out there ready to guide you. The future of education is truly in our hands.
Well said. This approach not only nurtures your professional growth, but also enhances your overall productivity and well-being. It's a win-win.
Indeed. And that wraps up our conversation on building effective learning habits for busy professionals. Let's keep striving to make every moment count.
Totally. Here's to turning small, consistent actions into big leaps forward. Cheers to focused learning and continuous growth.